I'm gonna scoop right here. All right, ready? Smoking cigarettes backwards. Go ahead.
He would do that.
Yeah, it's just me. All right, welcome to Spoken in Our Words. I'm Chigozie O.
I'm Pink Gator.
And I'm Jared Gilmore. And today's topic, we're going to be talking about the state of Black America. We want to look at some of the things that's been going on and see whether or not, kind of analyze where we are with Black America, whether or not we progressed in it over the last 6 to 7 years. Has anything increased for our better or things worse than what we are when President Obama got in office? Because every day I turn on the internet or turn on the news, I'm noticing there's either some type of caption or some type of picture that is really being what I would call unpatriotic to America from that standpoint. Today I was able to view an image, and the change photo of Obama was totally turned around because he joined Twitter. And so it was an actual noose put around his neck. And I just felt like, I even posed to many of my followers, has there ever been a time when not just the person, but the position of the United States president has been that disrespected? I cannot remember in no point, with the exception of when someone across seas threw shoes at Bush. But other than that, I cannot, really compare the scrutiny that President Obama has received, not even from the media, because yet still, to this day, I have many times I don't even hear them even call him President Obama. They just call him Mr. Obama or Obama.
Barack. And the thing about that, that leads to like the state of not only Black America, but America in general.
Yeah.
Whereas, everybody's screwed up. Black people, white people, we're so lost that we're just looking for an excuse to hate no matter what. And it's sad, but yeah, if we're going to focus on Black America, then honestly, I don't think we've really progressed much since slavery, to be honest with you. I mean, racism, in some cases it's in your face, some cases it's not, but as far as our mental state, I think to a certain extent we're worse off now. Honestly, to be blunt, I think we're worse off than we were, hundreds of years ago.
Okay. Now, when you say worse off, because I got to clarify, because for our viewers, now you said we worse off now. You're saying we better off in slavery?
No, I'm saying mentally.
Okay.
Mentally. I mean, our condition as far as, being free and opportunity, that's better, obviously, but
all right.
Mentally, for me, the condition of a people, I base it on the mentality. And so I think mentally we're worse today than we were back then, because it's almost like we're our worst enemy, and it's the song "Hit for Self-Destruction."
Oh yeah,
we're there, and we're rewriting a chapter every day.
I agree with you in some instances, but at the same token, there's been certain seeds that have been planted that has created this mentality, and so there's a culture of self-destruction. If the way I'm looking at it, we've been taught to turn against each other for so long, from the days of slavery, and so even though there's no justification or no excuse, it's still there, and we still have not dealt with it. Now, I'm not asking for 40 and a mule. I'm not asking for that.
Actually, you can keep the mule. I don't want the mule.
Which one's
35. I'll take 35 acres. Chop that baby up, man. I tell you, man, I get my hustle on.
But we see, I think the problem here, we're not taking that moment and saying, look, let's analyze this. Let's look at this while we're looking in the mirror, because there's a lot of people that have contributed to the state of Black America. It ain't just us. I'll give you an example. We would reward a household if the male is not there in the household. That creates a mindset where the man has to sneak to be in the household. The household is better off if he's not there. So you know,
you're right. Yeah, I mean, there are some serious backing that contributes to, you know, this negative self-image we have of ourselves. But we know this, and so that's what gets me. We know. It's like, if you know that this person every day is going to break in your house because you leave it unlocked, at some point you got to lock the door. And if you don't, I mean, it's like you get mad at the lion because he bit you when you put your head in his mouth. The lion, they go crazy. The lion with a lion, and it's like, at what point are we going to say, you know what? We know what the problem is, or what some of the problems are. Let's fix them instead of contributing to those problems. And it's like, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, I got you. And I understand what you're saying, that, you know, if you know, then why don't you fix it? And, you know, this goes back to talking earlier. In many cases, you'll be surprised of what people do not know and what are not aware of. If I am in a certain environment and all I see is X, Y, and Z in my home, outside the home, across the street, you name it, for the most part, I cannot foresee anything else. So me personally, many times, that's why whenever we would take a street team to help promote our music and product, we take kids, 10 kids, 8 kids, 15 kids, we would take them out of that environment, take them to a college environment, some type of huge exhibit that we would go to help them begin to daydream and visualize something else than they've been seeing.
Yeah.
You know, and so many times, if you are in a certain environment, I realistically can't imagine you being able to foresee but so much.
But even like we look on Facebook and you see these videos of people fighting.
Oh yeah.
It's educated people sharing these joints and laughing about it, creating memes about it, like it's entertainment. I realize that you're just further poisoning yourself and the environment.
And that goes back to what I said. If a person doesn't know, people only know so much. I mean, we can go a lot of ways with this. You know, we talking about the state of Black America, and my perception is, when we're talking about it based on what has been brought to the table just now, you said they're educated people, right? Sharing this. I always have to ask people, educated at what? You can be educated in science, you can be educated in agriculture, be educated, but if you do not take a race-first approach, everything else will suffer. That's in any organization that you're in, any affiliation you have. I'm in a fraternity, okay. Well, the image of my fraternity in many ways is held up in a positive way. Some of it is not.
Right.
If I take a race-first approach, which means I take a prideful approach, a respectful approach, everything else will fall in line. If I take a race-first approach, that means, me personally, not saying that you have the same thought process you have. Well, my thought process, if I take a race-first, a prideful approach, that means I respect myself. I respect the females in my life. Any female, I say, I respect my brothers. I take my education, whatever that may be, whatever I consider education, serious. Things will fall in. I take my finances. I take my business. I take everything that serious, because it is me as a melanated person. I respect and own up to everything that I do. So
you said, like, if it's race related or race.
If we talking about state of Black America,
right? So we're talking about so then everything's based upon my decision, what I'm doing, how it affects the race as a whole,
individually and as a whole.
Right.
Because look, check it out. Because look at what you just talked about. You're talking about posting these videos, right? Mm-hmm. I ain't posting videos, right?
Right.
But people's perception is of whoever posted the video and who's in that video.
Right.
If your only interaction with Black folks is when you work, where you work at, and on the internet, you can't take a seat. or it's not where you work at on TV. If your only interaction with black folks is what you watch on TV, on the internet, you're gonna get monkey jump.
All right, so then people who post those videos further this negative image of Black America. So is it a situation where they don't respect themselves or the race?
Many a times they don't.
Many times they
And
don't.
you have that discussion with them. And once again, it goes levels to this. People, that don't mean it. That don't mean it. I got you. A lot of people don't understand the importance and significance of entertainment either. If you read books like I mentioned earlier, Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams, forms of racism and hatred toward melanated people didn't stop or start in the 1800s, 1700s. It's been going on centuries, thousands of years. And part of that was entertainment. Let me entertain. Let me wine and dine. Let me learn their culture. Oh, it's just entertainment. We got to understand, once upon a time, us dangling from a tree was just entertainment.
True.
It really was. So when we get on the state of Black America, y'all have already said there have been many other hands that have been involved in that. At the same time, me personally, I have to look at myself. What am I doing? Okay, sharing those type of videos are an issue. Smoking that, drinking that is an issue, right? At the same time, okay, me personally, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to do that. But at some point in life, we have to stop and look within and look at ourselves and ask ourselves, self, what are you doing? Self, what do you want? And whenever you come to that answer or those answers of what you may want and what can be different in the world, that's your cue in life to be that change. That's your cue in life to take that initiative.